Hi, and welcome to a new episode of The Value Creators. Today, my guest will be Richard Reis, and he is partner at Argos Wityu. Hi, Richard. How are you?
Hi, Stefan. How are you doing?
Great. It's really a pleasure to host you today, and let's get that kick started.
My pleasure.
So, what can you tell us about Argos Wityu?
Argos Wityu is a pan-European private equity house with more than 30 years of experience. Our team is made of 60 professionals, and we manage 1.4 billion. We have one specialty, which is unlocking value in mid-sized companies, in supporting management teams in their transformation journey, and also in solving complexity. More concretely, we look at transactions like management buy-ins, management buyouts, carve-out, spin-offs, P2P, asset arbitrage, and complex auctions as well.
And what about Argos Wityu in Luxembourg?
We have an extensive presence in Luxembourg historically. Since 1995, we have our top company within our group based in Luxembourg. On the other hand, our funds are also Luxembourg-based funds. We have a team and offices in Luxembourg with 3 professionals, our general secretary, and 2 other professionals with legal, accounting, and administrative skills. Obviously, they are accompanying the group on a day-to-day operation basis and also when it's about structuring. To end, we also are active in terms of deal making in Luxembourg. We are often on the ground in Luxembourg in order to find opportunities to team up with entrepreneurs locally.
So let's have now a closer look at the value creation model. What are Argos Wityu's expectations before investing into a new business?
It's a vague question actually, but we can try to summarize the answers in 5 key items. First of all, we look at companies with strong fundamentals, active in attractive markets, with management teams which are skilled and pragmatic. So those are the 3 ones. Then we definitely request clear solution for all the elements which were flagged during due diligence in terms of complexity, points which are able to create additional value going forward. And to end, we request a transparent and constructive relationship with all the stakeholders on a transaction. Management team on the one hand, with an investment on the side to align the interest, but then on the other hand, with the sellers as well, to try to optimize the transaction process.
So, how do you concretely create value and how do you measure it?
Again, it's a big question, right? And there is one point which is important to mention before answering those 2 points, is when do we create value? And we create value not only during the portfolio holding period and the exit, but we also create value before acquiring a company. Yeah, the deep dive exercise we are doing in due diligence. So basically on the how we create value, obviously we capitalize on our 30 years experience in the market to transform situations. And we have designed internally a software which is dedicated to answering the questions in concretely and in practice to 40 different topics to create value. Let me give you some example. When a transaction is complex by its nature, because of the shareholding structure or because of the environment, we solve it by doing the deal. So that's the first layer of solving a situation. Creating value is also by managing the talents, putting a new CEO in place, putting a specific and dedicated policy internally in order to make people to grow, to incentive people, to make the organization more efficient, better. Then we also professionalize businesses by putting new systems, emphasis investment in IT, CRM, RAP. We never hesitate to dedicate time, effort, and money in order to improve the systems of a company. And then obviously, for the specialists, what I'm going to say now is normal, or I would say obvious. So we are accelerating the top line of the company by commercial boost. We go international. We think a lot about the strategic positioning, the price flexibility. We look at the operations as well quite a lot in order to make a company more lean and mean and agile, and especially in the time of COVID, we all understood that having an agile company is absolutely key. So operations are also quite a lot of an importance for us. As I said before, IT, innovation, digitalization are also critical layers for value creation. Buy and build, and I will be back on that afterwards with examples. Joint ventures, and also what we call perimeter management, which is in fact the reverse of buy and build, is basically divesting businesses or units which are not core to the future strategy. I will end on ESG, which is a very important point for us historically. We have, by the way, recruited a head of ESG for Argos, but for also all of our portfolio companies in Europe. And we have dedicated action per company with a bottom-up approach and a concrete tracker or KPI, so to say, to reach those extra financial value creation layers. I was mentioning buy and build just before. Let me take one case that we have performed internally. So it's a deal in Benelux. It's the first transaction we have done in the Netherlands. The name of the deal is Cohedron. So it's a management buy-in that we have done in 2017. And we sold the business some months ago to House of HR in Belgium after a bit more than 4 years of holding period. And basically we have multiplied by more than 2.5 times the EBITDA in that period with different value creation layer on this specific case. Some of them were mentioned before in the general list. And buy and build on that specific transaction was absolutely key in terms of growth, because in 4 years we have done 17 acquisitions, 17. So it's a concrete example and we have consolidated obviously the market. Cohedron is a service provider to municipalities and financial institutions in the Netherlands. And by acquiring those smaller companies, we have created a real platform and a real player locally.
This is really a fascinating model. And concerning the measurement?
Measurement is part of our daily life, so to say, in a private equity house, right? To measure those actions, obviously, there are two layers or two levels. Level number one is at the company level, obviously. And when you were talking before and asking the question about how we create value, proximity with management is fundamental. We are majority shareholders, and basically for us, this is absolutely key to have an open line and a trustable relationship with CEOs, CFOs, and C-level executives. So we measure at the company level the value creation layer with weekly calls, KPIs obviously, and monthly board, including business reportings. Those business reportings are including financial elements, but also non-financial elements, because value creation is also based on non-financial elements. At the fund level then, obviously we have dashboards, including ESG, and obviously reporting to our investors, which are made on a quarterly basis. On ESG specifically, we have a dedicated report. Obviously, we have adhered to the United PRI, etc., but we make it concrete by, as I said before, one action per company is better than 5 actions not tracked. So we, for each of our portfolio companies, we have clear access for ESG improvement, and we track it accordingly in a dedicated report.
Finally, Richard, could you illustrate your value creation process with another business case?
Sure. I can mention a second Benelux case, Gantrex, a company that we have acquired in 2015. Gantrex is a global leader in a rail system for heavy-duty cranes. Since the acquisition, we have obviously implemented different value creation layers, actions. But if I have to mention 3, I would say, first of all, we have reinforced the management and aligned the governance and the international structure. Secondly, we have boosted the commercial side of the business with detailed analysis on the pricing strategy, on diversification of services, maintenance business as well. And to end, we have accelerated also the growth with consolidation moves and a critical acquisition to make this business stronger. So again, one more time, buy and build.
Richard, thanks a lot for sharing so many insights and those great examples. It was really a pleasure to host you today, and we wish you best of luck for your upcoming projects.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your invitation.